Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Hang on 1 second.
Mic check. Do you have yours? Make sure yours works.
Mic check 1 2. Yep, we got it. We're good. Trying to recover from back-to-back last-second losses to BYU on the road and Eastern Washington at home, the Cougs stay at Beasley tonight for their final non-conference home game of the season. As tonight they host the Texas Tech Lady Raiders out of the Big 12 Conference. And hello, everybody, and welcome inside of Beasley Coliseum for this presentation of WSU Women's Basketball right here on KUGR. I'm Declan Curran, joined by Nathan Eshelman, and we're so glad that you decided to join us for what should be a fun and exciting matchup here on the Palouse. And Nathan, what do the Cougs need to do to be able to keep the lead if they get it, have a chance to pull off a major upset, and get their first win all time against a currently undefeated Texas Tech team who is receiving votes in both AP and the coaches poll?
Well, what would be a very unexpected win for the Washington State Cougars? They need a lot to go their way, and this season, nothing has really gone their way. Only one win on the season through those 10 games. Meanwhile, the complete opposite for Texas Tech. They are 10-0. They have been the utter form of dominance for women's basketball. With those 10 wins, 9 of them are coming by double digits or more. Their only win by less than double digits was a 7-point win against Mississippi State. The Cougars need everything to go right for them, and it'll be the small things to get that started. You just need to focus on a lot of small things like don't turn the ball over, get your assists, and biggest of all, the biggest struggle all season long really is shooting. Shoot the ball well, take smart shots, don't take bad shots. If you're being heavily contested with 3 people on your back, don't chuck a shot up to the rim without passing to a teammate. Try to find the extra person around you, make the smart pass, and make the smart shot. Something that they did last game against Eastern Washington in that third quarter. They were kind of storming. They were going on runs. They took the lead, but that fourth quarter, they stopped following that smooth game plan, and it led to them losing by 2 for the third time this season. And the Cougars team, they can show fight, but they just have to figure out how to close it out.
Yeah, and looking at the key players watching this game, for Texas Tech, obviously, Jalen Bristow, she's leads the team in basically every category you can think of: points, rebounds, and blocks. 17th in the nation in blocks, 20th in blocks per game at 2.2, and also senior point guard Hema Nunez, who came over from Campbell after this last season. She leads the team in assists and steals, 28th and 45th nationally, and her assist to turnover ratio is 18th nationally at 3.06. So obviously those will be the 2 players the Cougs are going to want to try to stop today.
Well, another person to stop is she's not even been in their starting lineup. She has not started a single game so far this season, but she's tied for second on the team in points per game. She is sitting at 14.9 points per game, and that is Snuda Collins, the guard from Brookhaven, Mississippi. She's made a great name for herself, and she's been consistent. She's the only player in every single game so far this season for the Red Raiders to average or to have 10 or more in every single game. That's a great job there by Collins, and there's just a lot of bodies you got to guard if you're the Cougars defense, and they've been having a tough time at doing that this season. They're giving up over 70 points per game. Meanwhile, Texas Tech is averaging 77.9 points per game. It's just real battle of David and Goliath here. The Cougars are outmatched in every single category, and it'll take a smart game plan and a lot of things that go their way if they want to have any chance of going into this game.
Yeah, definitely. And just to your point, I was going to bring it up. She is the only player to score double-digit points in all 10 games this season, and she's second on the team in three-point percentage with a minimum of 10 attempts. And in terms of starters, Texas Tech is second among Power 4 schools in total minutes played, behind the only team that leads them in that category is also from the Big 12, TCU, and they lead the third-ranked team, Clemson, by more than 1,000 minutes. But out of all those amazing statistics, they do not have any player. They did not have any players earn any Big 12 preseason awards, as they were picked to finish 13th out of 16 teams in the Big 12 preseason poll.
I mean, they were really not expected to be this dominant. 10-0 to start the season, puts your name on the map, puts your name in the nation, and they're just going to try to prove it again tonight. If they get another double-digit win, that'll be their 10th double-digit win of the season, and all signs are pointing to it. But the stars for the Cougars to try to stop this from happening, the star of the season, Eleanor Villa, the 5'8" guard from Italy. She's averaging 17.2 points per game on the season, which is 5.2 better than the next best in Charlotte Abraham. I think she'll get her name into this game.
Yeah, well, with that, we will take a break for the national anthem. We'll be back for starting lineups and tip-off. This is Washington State Women's Basketball on KUGR, the student voice of the Blues.
Well, good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Beasley Coliseum for tonight's matchup between the Texas Tech Lady Raiders and your Washington State Cougars. And now let's meet the game starting lineups presented by Visa Credit Union. First for Texas Tech. At guard, a junior from Holiday, Texas, number 1, Jalen Bristow. At guard, a senior from Almeria, Spain, number 2, Keman Nunez. At guard, a senior from Maryville, Tennessee, number 5, Dene Fritz. At forward, a senior from Paris, France, number 11, Sarenge Sanogo. And at guard, a senior from Gruber, Texas, number 20, Bailey Pocket. Texas Tech is led by head coach Kristen Gruber.
There's a takeaway and a run out from Sherwood Abraham.
Washington State Cougars. At guard, a junior from Lasone, Italy, number 2, Eleanor Villa. At guard, a junior from Auckland, New Zealand, number 8, Mackenzie Chatfield. At forward, a freshman from Ljubljana, Slovenia, number 9, Tanya Vlasic. At guard, a sophomore from Cambrai, France, number 10, Charlotte
And welcome back inside Beasley Coliseum. Just about ready to start this one here between the Washington State Cougars and the Texas Tech Lady Raiders. Starting lineups have come in for Texas Tech. It'll be the player we highlight in the open, the 6'2 junior from Holiday, Texas. Number 1, Jalen Bristow, the 5'7 senior guard from Spain. Number 2, Hema Nunez. The 5'11 senior guard from Maryville, Tennessee. Number 5, Danae Fritz. 6'3 senior from Paris. Number 11, Sarangbe Sinogo. And the 5'10 senior guard from Texas. Number 20, Bailey Maupin. Texas Tech led by 6-year head coach and former national championship winner on the 1992 Texas Tech women's team, Krista Gerlich. For the Cougs, led by 8th-year head coach Cami Etheridge. 5'8", it's the same starting 5 as most of the season. 5'8 junior guard from Lisbona, Italy. Number 2, Eleanor Villa. 5'9 junior guard from New Zealand. Number 8, Mackenzie Chatfield. The 6-foot freshman forward from Ljubljana, Slovenia. Number 9, Tanya Valancic. The 6-foot sophomore guard from Cambrai, France. Number 10, Charlotte Abraham. And the 6'2 freshman forward from Pasco. Number 55, Malia Rude. A little bit of a delay here in the tip-off, trying to get last couple of things here sorted out. Washington State still in their huddle on the bench. Meanwhile, the starting 5 for Texas Tech is making their way onto the floor right now. Texas Tech wearing their road black jerseys with black pants. Wazoo in white jerseys with white pants.
The fans are still kind of packing the crowd as much as they possibly can. It's hard to get crowds in the stadiums like this when it's the end of finals week, final Friday, and people are ready to go home. And me personally, this is going to be my final broadcast for the winter break. But what about you, Declan?
Yep, this will be mine too. We're both heading back home tomorrow.
Very excited for the winter break. Chance weather on the west side, not too great. Both of us being from the west side, where you get to go back to seems like a lot of water.
Yeah, a lot of water, but probably a little bit. There's certainly a lot of water, but also a little bit nicer, warmer weather as well. So
hopefully the Cougars offense can rain down some points on Texas Tech today.
So it's going to be Sinogo and Valancic at the center circle for the opening tip-off. Our officials for today's game, Lisa Jones, Anthony Robinson, and Darren Kresnick. And the ball is up in the air. It is won by Sinogo, and we are underway. Texas Tech controls the opening tip. It's Nunez immediately gets her hands on the basketball. Heavy pressure put on by Villa. Right over to Bristow, right under the basket. She wants contact, doesn't get one. The shot doesn't go. Rebound, Chatfield and the Cougs. Cougs have a chance for the first points of this game.
That was great defense there by Valancic to stop a great attacker in Bristow.
Abraham with the basketball now. Over in the corner, Chatfield. Chatfield fakes the dribble, finds somebody open, finds Valancic. Under the basket's Rude. She was trying to pass it to Rude, stolen away by Danae Fritz there. Texas Tech back on offense. Over to Sinogo, back over to Bailey Maupin, her first touch of this game. Maupin over to Bristow, right under the basket. This time she gets contact. Shots off, but she draws the charge, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2. They're going to call this one on Abraham, her personal first-team foul. 2 shots on the way for Jalen Bristow.
Charlotte Abraham has to be careful with fouls. That's been her big struggle this year. She has 34, now 35 on the season.
On this Texas Tech team. Collins with a little fadeaway jumper. That's no good, but she gets contact on the jump shot. Fouled on the way down. 2 free throws coming for Snuna Collins.
That was just too aggressive of defense there, but it's hard to stop this team. And Valancic just tried to get as close as she could without fouling, but ref saw too much contact. Easy whistle to blow right there.
Yep, and you're right. They're going to call that on Valancic. That's her third personal foul, or third team foul for the Cougs. Already in the quarter, Snuna Collins at the line to shoot 2. First free throw up and good. 1 more upcoming. It's Cougar lead is down to 1 now. It's 8-7. Texas Tech with a chance to tie this game on this second free throw. Second free throw is good. We're back even. 8-8. 5:50 left here in the first quarter. Also checking in during that during those free throws was Keandra Koritz, who drives to the lane, and she completely fooled the Texas Tech defense, drives around everybody, and lays it up and in. Easy layup, 10-8, Washington State.
She had a wide open lane to cut through, and a great pass. Open looks are what Washington State's taking, and it's working.
Nunez with the ball now. It looks like Volancic was the one that subbed out for Koritz. Little jump shot by Maupin. Takes a couple bounces, but rolls in. We're back even. It's 10-10, approaching 5 minutes here. And we have a steal. Little underhand by Nunez doesn't go. 3-point attempt by Maupin is also off. Foul on the floor. They're going to call an offensive foul on Texas Tech. Cougars basketball. This one's going on Collins. Her first team foul of the quarter.
That's great hustle there by the Cougars. They were a little undisciplined there. They turned the ball over, and they did a great job fighting back for the ball. They forced a miss on a layup, then forced a kick out to the left corner where the three-pointer was missed, and a great rebound attempt, but Snuda Collins tried to rip for it a little bit too much, and an over-the-back foul was easily called there by the referees.
So we hit the under 5 minute timeout with 4:59 left in the first quarter, and we are all even up. It's Washington State 10, Texas Tech 10. This is Washington State women's basketball on KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. We're back here in Beasley Coliseum out of the under 5 minute timeout. We're all squared at 10-10. Nathan, what are you liking from both teams so far?
Well, from Washington State, they are understanding that Texas Tech is pressuring them super heavily, going to the ball, doubling whoever the passer is. But the Cougars are doing a good job working around that. Eleanor Villa has spread the ball around very well so far. She's found 2 open shots, and one was a cut to the basket, and one was Malia Rude right under, who hit a bank shot layup. But along with that, they're finding good kickouts and taking smart shots. They're 100% from 3 in their attempts at the three-point line, and they're shooting 80%. Meanwhile, for Texas Tech, they're just using their talent overall to out-hustle the Cougars. They're trying to pressure the ball on inbounds, full-court presses, and they're using their speed to get to the rim and try to drive around players, either drawing contact or to just make a layup or a tough fadeaway shot. And right now it's working for Texas Tech, but their defense has to be a little more smart and force a little more turnovers, which is what they've done all season long.
Yeah, and for the Cougs so far, Malia Rude has half the point. She's at 5. Koritz with 2 and Villa with 3. Speaking of Villa, it'll be her to inbounds out of the timeout. Gets it over to Abraham, who has to secure that with one hand. Almost a bad turnover. Over to Rude. Now it's Villa. 17 on the shot clock. Now it's Rude. Rude still with the basketball, being guarded by Jada Malone, who checked in at that timeout, the 6'3 senior from Spring, Texas. And a steal there by Snuda Collins. Drives to the lane with the easy layup. 12-10, Texas Tech with the lead.
Just right there, they forced the turnover, didn't give up any easy looks. Cougars unable to find anything but a Texas Tech defender.
Chatfield with the ball now. Over to Courts. 15 on the shot clock. Courts trying to find somebody open. Kicks it out to Rude. Stoppage and play here. We have a foul on the floor on Texas Tech.
They're very aggressive, but sometimes the aggressiveness can lead to penalties.
And we'll have to see who they're going to. We're going to have to see.
It's on Malone.
Okay, so that's Malone's first. Second team foul for Texas Tech. And checking in for Washington State will be Lauren Glazier replacing Malia Rude. But it's Chatfield with the basketball right now. Kicks it out to Villa. Fakes the three. In the restricted area, looking for Abraham. Loses that. That goes off her hands. Chatfield tries to save it. Tries to save it from going out of bounds, but it goes out of bounds before she can get to it. That's a turnover back to Texas Tech. Collins to inbound. Over to Nunez. 23 on the shot clock. Nunez now being guarded by Villa. Over to Maupin. Deep three from downtown. That's off the window. No good. Offensive rebound. Hema Nunez. Back over to Maupin. Loses out of bounds. And they're also going to call an offensive foul, it looks like, on Maupin. Great defense there by Eleanor Villa to force the turnover.
It's actually going to be a defensive foul on Charlotte Abraham, a blocking foul. Changed by referees. Each one said a different thing, but the FAR official to us called it a blocking foul, and Abraham is now going to come out of the game.
That's her second foul, fourth team foul of the quarter for the Cougs. And it looks like the 16-year-old Malvina Haziri checks in for Abraham, as that jumper by Texas Tech is good. It's 14-10. Lady Raiders now. And wide open under the basket off the assist from Haziri is Lauren Glazier. She finds her way on the scoreboard. 14-12. Cougs down.
Cougars know that once they have the advantage in numbers, try to find the open pass. Texas Tech unable to use their speed to get back enough.
Jada Malone under the basket now. Kicks it out to Maupin. Out to Nunez for three. Off the rim. No good. Rebound Chatfield in Washington State. Cougs with a three here by Courts can take the lead, but that's no good. Offensive rebound by Glazier. Loses it out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Washington State. Texas Tech basketball. Two substitutions for Texas Tech. Back in is Jalen Bristow and Danae Fritz for Sydney Love and Bailey Maupin. Collins to inbound over to Nunez, and stoppage in play on inbounds. Let's see what this is about.
It appears that Cammie Etheridge wants to challenge the call on the court. Villa was very adamant to the referee that she did not touch that ball while it went out of bounds. And Etheridge is going to put trust in her star player, and they're going to take this to the challenge.
Yeah, that was I don't blame Etheridge one bit for that. That looked like a very, very difficult call for the refs. So Etheridge uses the challenge, and with the new rules, we know that if she gets this wrong, she loses a timeout, and she would only have three left. So with this stoppage in play, we will take a timeout as well. 2:47 left in the first quarter. Texas Tech 14, Washington State 12. This is WSU women's basketball on KGR, the student voice of the police. Well, it is an unsuccessful challenge for Cami Etheridge. That was indeed off of Washington State. It still shows 4 timeouts, so actually now it's 3 timeouts. So Cami Etheridge loses a challenge and a timeout. She's down to 3 now as Collins gets the little jumper to go off of a couple bounces. It's 16-12 Texas Tech now.
Collins is already in the double digits just in the first quarter. She has not missed today.
Yep.
They got to keep feeding the hot hand.
Yep, she's back. She's at 10 points. That's now double digits in all 11 games. And she drives to the basket here off the assist from Nunez. She doesn't get that to go, but she's fouled, and she'll have 2 free throws on the way. Looks like they're going to call. Yes, they're going to call Koritz for that foul. It's first personal, 5th team foul, so Texas Tech is now in the bonus.
Ever since that media timeout, Texas Tech has stayed true to what I was saying they should do. They've been playing very aggressive to force turnovers. Now they force 4 turnovers.
Collins gets the first free throw to go. She's now at 11 points, 3 of 3 from the free throw line so far. And I tell you what, by the way she's playing, she deserves to be in that starting lineup going forward. As she knocks down both free throws, up to 12 points now, and it's the largest lead for Texas Tech now at 6, 18-12, 2:13 left. Villa with the basketball now. As Bristow falls down, once the offensive foul call on Glazier doesn't get it, kicks it out to Haziri for 3, no good. Rebound Bristow.
That was a great possession by the Cougars. Tough screen, no foul deserved. That was just a great brick wall screen set by Glazer.
Out to Nunez now, and she's going to get called for the double dribble. That's great defense there by the Cougs, forcing the turnover. It's back over to Washington State. Substitutions for both teams. Checking in for the first time for Texas Tech is the 6-foot senior from Lubbock, Texas, number 8, Adley Blacklock. And checking in for the Cougs, as we have, looks like an offensive foul going the other way called on the Cougs, so that's another turnover. And they're going to call that on Chatfield, her first personal foul.
She just kind of stuck out her arm at the defender, trying to push her off, and the ref saw it and went to the ground. It's an easy way to sell the foul.
And they're going to say Rude checked back in for the Cougs. Glazier sits. It's Malone with the basketball now for Texas Tech. Over to Bristow. Her little jumper is good. 20-12 Texas Tech. And Texas Tech all of a sudden on a big scoring run here now towards the end of the first quarter, which has 90 seconds left in it. It's Koritz now with the basketball. Kicks it out to Villa. Open is Haziri in the corner, but Villa keeps hold of the basketball. Not a good decision. That's a turnover by Nunez. Wide open to the basket. Fools everybody on the Cougar defense. 22-12 Texas Tech.
Emma Nunez, she leads the team in steals and is top of the nation in that department for that exact reason.
It's now Chatfield with the basketball. Chatfield kicks it out to Haziri, out to Villa in the corner for 3. Off the rim, no good. But right there for the offensive rebound and the putback is Keandra Koritz. Much needed basket for the Cougs. 22-14, 40 seconds left in the first quarter.
They went 2.5 minutes without scoring. That one was a much needed layup right there.
Nunez kicks it out to Bristow, but they're going to call an offensive foul as soon as Bristow gets possession of the ball. They're going to say a illegal screen called on Janae Fritz of Texas Tech, her first personal, 3rd team foul, so it's a turnover to the Cougs. Rude with the basketball now off the inbounds. Finally gets it across half court. Almost taken away there by Janae Fritz, who just got called for the offensive foul. It's over to Villa, over to Haziri. 15 on the shot clock, 16 on the game clock. Cougs can hold for the rest of the quarter. That shot's no good. Offensive foul way down on Washington State. It doesn't matter anyways. It's going back over to Texas Tech. That's on Malia Rude, her 2nd personal. And checking in for Texas Tech is going to be Sydney Love, checking back in for Jada Malone. And Rude will now sit. Lauren Glazier will replace her with 14.2 seconds left in the first quarter. Texas Tech 22, Washington State 14. And looks like this was a defensive foul actually on Rude, so it'll be 2 free throws coming for Blacklock. And the first free throw is good. It's 23-14, Texas Tech.
Well, Rue just kind of slipped and tripped, and when you're in the bonus, you're going to get free throws.
Second free throw is also good. Texas Tech back up by 10. Glazier got her hands on the rebound, but Chatfield is the one who ends up getting it last, gets it off to Haziri. 7 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock is off. Kluth home for the last shot. Out to Villa, fakes the three, drives to the basket. No good, but she gets fouled with 0.9 on the game clock. They're gonna call this one on Sydney Love, her first personal, 4th team foul. 2 free throws on the way for Eleanor Villa.
Just under a second left. Villa took it herself, took some contact, and almost got the shot to fall, but free throws coming up.
First free throw is good. 24-15 now. It's the Texas Tech lead. Second free throw is also good. Just need to get it inbounds. And there's the inbounds, and that is going to do it for the first quarter. Texas Tech leads Washington State by 8 after the free throws by Eleanor Villa. It's 24-16 Texas Tech as we head to the second quarter right here on KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. All right, we go to the second quarter. Texas Tech leading the Cougs 24-16. Nathan, what are your takeaways from the first quarter?
To Washington State's credit, they are shooting the ball really well. They're over 55% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, 100% from the free throw line. But the reason they're down 8, those 10 turnovers. And those 10 turnovers led to 16 of the 24 Texas Tech points. They really got to limit them. They're on pace for 40 in the game.
Jean Chu checks back in for the first time to start the second quarter. A little bit of contact there by both Fritz and Villa. No call. It's Villa with the basketball. Finds Haziri open in the corner. Fakes the three. Kicks it out to Villa for 3. Off the rim. No good. Rebound, Jalen Bristow.
That was great passing, though. Got the open shot. Villa just has to knock that down. Left it short.
It's Fritz now with the basketball over to Blacklock. Over to Bristow. Finds Sydney Love. Little jump shot fake by Serengbe Sinogo, no good. Out to Fritz, no good. Gives it off to Sinogo, tries to keep it in bounds, doesn't. Off of Texas Tech, Gene Chu will inbound for Washington State.
Cougars have to be better at boxing out. They do get possession, but that was almost an offensive rebound for Sarah Sinogo.
Glazier now with the basketball after the inbounds from Chu, and she gets fouled by Sinogo. That looked like a pretty obvious blocking foul, and the rest agree. That's going to be the first foul on Sinogo. First team foul of the quarter for Texas Tech.
Well, she was right in her hip, and Adley Blacklock tried to just poke it away, but that's falling to the court. That's going to be easy to call.
Chu with the basketball now. Over to Haziri. Back over to Chu, right in front of the Texas Tech bench. Fakes a couple shots. Over to Courts. Fakes the three. Kicks it out to Villa in the corner for three. No good. Rebound Sinogo.
That's another open look that Eleanor Villa just has to knock down. Wide open in the corner. You have to be able to hit that.
Fritz with the basket. No, check that. That's Blacklock with the basketball now. Wide open is Sinogo under the basket. Fools two Cougar defenders. It gets the easy bucket to go. 26-16. Texas Tech, 8.5 left in the second quarter. Chu with the basketball now. Over to Villa. Heavy pressure put on by Fritz. Open in the corner for three, or top of the key for three is Glazier. Doesn't go. Rebound Nunez and Texas Tech. Over to Bristow. Gets around Koritz and tries to find Sinogo. Almost gets it taken away by Haziri. Down on the ground, we have a jump ball. They're going to say last touch by Washington State. It's Texas Tech ball in alternating possession. Volanches checks back in for Washington State for Lauren Glazier. Back in for Texas Tech will be Cinder Collins and Jada Malone. And taking a seat is going to be Jalen Bristow and Sydney Love. Blacklock now over to Nunez. Nunez almost loses it, but Collins able to just get her hand on it and avoid the over and back violation. Now it's Nunez. 2 on the shot clock, and they don't get it off in time. Fritz made the bucket, but it was way late. That's a shot clock violation, automatic turnover to the Cougs.
Cougars are playing good defense this quarter. They just have to figure out how to get the offense flowing.
Chu now over to Villa. Back over to Chu. Gets it across half court. Once a foul called on Fritz for the contact, doesn't get it. Now in the hands of Malvina Haziri. Back over to Villa. 15 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Koritz. Over to Haziri. 10 on the shot clock. It's Koritz. Almost loses it. Maintains possession. 7 on the shot clock, and that's deflected off the hands of Fritz, and it's a turnover. Ends up in the hands of Hema Nunez of Texas Tech. Fritz now with the basketball. Kicks it out to Nunez. Nunez over to Fritz. 13 on the shot clock. Right underneath the basket for the easy putback is Jada Malone. 28-16 Texas Tech.
They're using their footwork in the post to get through the defense of the Cougars, and it's working amazingly right now.
Chu kicks it out to Villa, who fakes the three. I don't know what that play was, but that's a steal and a turnover by Jada Malone. Underneath the basket, great passing there by Hema Nunez to give it off to Blacklock underneath the basket. Gets that one to go. 30-16, Texas Tech now in their biggest lead at 14. Cammie Etheridge takes a timeout, and then it'll turn into a media timeout.
Well, that's just a rough start to this quarter for the Cougars. Their defense is doing their best. When the ball is slowed down, the Cougars are doing a good job getting in position. But in the last 3 possessions, Texas Tech has not missed. They're 3 of 3 with a 14-point advantage right now, 6-0 just in the second quarter. Cougars are getting some open three-pointers, but when they're not getting it open behind the arc, they're trying to force it inside where it's poked away. And it is now the 12th turnover of the game for the Cougars. They really have to figure out how to get inside the paint without losing possession.
So, in the middle of media timeout, we'll take a break as well. 6:40 left until halftime. Texas Tech up big on the Cougs, 30-16. This is Washington State women's basketball on KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Keely is our winner. Congratulations, Foley. No unattended baggage, please. Congratulations, Keely. Thanks for playing. Pack your bags.
Back here out of the timeout by Washington State, / the media timeout. 6:40 left until halftime. It's Texas Tech 30, Washington State 16. It's going to be Washington State's ball coming out of the timeout. Eleanor Villa to inbounds here. Looking for somebody open, finds Valancic, who checks back in after the media timeout. We have Maupin and Bristow back in for Texas Tech for Blacklock and Fritz, and Alzina, Marta Alzina and Charlotte Abraham check back in for Washington State for Courts and Malvina Haziri. That shot by Washington State's no good. Rebound, Texas Tech. It's Hema Nunez. Out to Collins, back over to Nunez, top of the key, over to Bristow, right wing over to Maupin. Right at the free throw line jumper for Malone, banks it off the glass. Banks are still open. 30-16, 32-16 Texas Tech.
This game is going to get away from the Cougars if they don't find a way to score on offense. Their defense is doing their best to hang in there, but Jada Malone able to just find the bank right there.
It's Abraham with the ball now. Over to Villa. Over to Chu, right wing. Over to Abraham. Once contact called by Bristow, and she eventually gets it, the call on Bristow. A little bit of a late call, but there was contact made by Jalen Bristow. They're going to call her for the foul. First personal, second team foul. Foul was on the floor, inbounds Washington State. It's Gene Chu to inbounds. Back over to Valancic. Over to Villa, right wing. Gets around the defender. Kicks it out to Abraham, and she gets a little bit of contact on her from underneath by Snooter Collins. That's her second personal, third team foul already on Texas Tech. That one's also on the floor. And Collins will be replaced by Danae Fritz. Valancic heads to the bench for Washington State, being replaced by Malia Rude. Gene Chu to inbounds for Washington State. Also checking back in for Texas Tech will be Serengbe Sonogo. Checks back in for Jada Malone. So Gene Chu to inbound, kicks it out to Abraham, fakes the three, but she travels with it. It's an automatic turnover, ball back over to Texas Tech.
Charlotte Abraham had a great day on Wednesday against Eastern Washington. Slow start today, 0 for 2, and 2 fouls with a turnover right there. Just not really in the game so far.
Emma Nunez now back over to Maupin. Over to Sonogo. Maupin kicks it out to Nunez. Nunez driving to the basket. Doesn't take the shot, gives it off to Bristow. Back over to Nunez. Back over to Sonogo. 12 on the shot clock. Sonogo fakes the jumper. Back over to Maupin. Right wing. Back over to Bristow. Kicks it out in front of the Wazoo bench for 3. That's Nunez. That's nothing but net. 35-16 Texas Tech. 5 minutes left until halftime.
The Cougars have not scored this quarter. They are 5 minutes scoreless.
It's Alzina with the ball, and she was looking for Rude. That's a turnover for Maupin. Wide open to the basket. That's about as easy as a layup as you'll get for Jalen Bristow. Just lays that up and in. 37-16 Texas Tech. Rude almost loses it. Has to do a couple of dribbles. Looking for Villa. That one was a little bit up in the air. Taken away by Maupin. Bristow drives to the basket. Doesn't get it to go. Second shot doesn't get that to go either after she got her own rebound. Washington State basketball now. Looking for any type of points. This might do it. Alzina for 3. Weird angle. No good. Rebound Nunez.
Texas Tech is doing a great job stealing it anytime they can, targeting the center as soon as Malia Rude had the ball. Couldn't dribble too much, and it led to a turnover.
Maupin over to Serengbe Sonogo. Back over to Nunez. Nunez, little underhand reverse is no good. Off defensive rebound by Gene Chu of Washington State. Back over to Charlotte Abraham. Cross midcourt. Right there is Gene Chu. Gets her hands on it. Tells offense to get set. Find somebody she can pass it to. 15 on the shot clock. Wide open. Top of the key for 3 is Rude. In and out. Rebound to Sonogo. Back over to Nunez. Corner for 3 is Maupin. That's nothing but net. 40-16 now Texas Tech. Texas Tech running away with this game quickly. 3:25 left until halftime.
Well, when you have a 16-point advantage in the second quarter, it's going to be pretty easy to take some games.
It's Villa now. Over to Alzina. Back over to Villa. Contact there between Bristow and Abraham. No call. Both players want the call. Little reverse layup, and the first points of the second quarter belong to Marta Alzina as she gets the finger roll on that one. It's Hema Nunez now with the basketball. Over to Bailey Maupin. Fakes the 3. Being guarded by Villa. She takes a jumper instead. That doesn't go either. Rebound by Alzina and Washington State. Now it's over to Gene Chu. Gene Chu drives to the basket. Wants contact on Bristow. Doesn't get it. Kicks it out to Alzina in the corner. Off of her leg, but they're going to say last touch by Texas Tech. Washington State maintains possession.
It's actually going to be a ground foul or foul on the ground against Maupin. And first of the game.
We have multiple substitutions for Washington State. We will get them to you here in a second, but checking out is going to be Abraham, Rude, and Chu, replaced by, looks like, Valancic, Haziri, and Chatfield. Also checking back in for Texas Tech is Sydney Love. Chatfield to inbound, out to Valancic. Fakes the 3, out to Malvina Haziri kicks it out to Valancic. Open in the corner for three is Alzina. She shoots, doesn't go. Rebound Texas Tech. That's Bailey Maupin. Maupin gets it across half court. 2:12 left until halftime. Texas Tech 40, Washington State 18. Bristow with the basketball now. Easy reverse layup. Completely fools the two Cougar defenders right there underneath the basket. 42-18 Texas Tech now.
That was a great screen under the hoop by Sydney Love. Took two defenders with her, leaving an open lane for the layup.
Villa with the basketball now. Out to Valancic. Bank shot. Gets that one off the backboard to go. 42-20. Texas Tech now. 1:40 left until halftime.
Valancic using her spacing well. Took the advantage with the floater off the glass. Good touch there by Valancic.
Sydney Love with the ball. Out to Jalen Bristow. Over to Sarah Sanogo out to Love. Fakes the three. Back in the hands of Bristow. Great defense there by Villa. Forcing the loose ball and getting in there with the steal. Now she has the ball. Trying to go coast to coast. She missed everything on that shot. Rebound Texas Tech. That was Bristow with yet another rebound. Over to Maupin. Back over to Bristow. Back over to Blacklock. Top of the key is Sanogo. Almost loses it as Haziri was able to get just a fingertip on that. Kicks it out. Top of the key for three is Maupin. No good. Rebound fought for by Love and Haziri, but they're going to say alternating possession. It's Texas Tech, or check that Washington State's basketball.
Haziri does a great job jumping for the rebound, not letting go of it for a second. Great rebound there from the 5'9" guard. Not using size, but a lot of elusiveness and agility to get to where the ball is on that long rebound.
Jean Chu checks back in for Washington State, replacing Eleanor Avila. And for Texas Tech, Danae Fritz checks in for Sarah Sanogo. So both number fives on both teams check back in. Out in the corner for three is Haziri. Takes a couple bounces, no good. Bristow waits for it to come down, but she picks up another rebound. Back over to Sydney Love. Back over to Bailey Maupin, top of the key, being guarded by Jean Chu. Heavy pressure put on there. Finally able to get it off to Sydney Love. 15 on the shot clock, 17 on the game clock. Texas Tech can possibly hold for the last shot. Bristow gets the fadeaway fadeaway shot to go. 44-20 Texas Tech. 5 seconds left until halftime. Haziri trying to beat the buzzer for three. No, that's off the mark, and we head to halftime. Texas Tech 44, Washington State 20.
I mean, my goodness, that was an explosion of both offense and defense for Texas Tech. Washington State just could not find anything. They put up 4 points that quarter, and as a team, when you're not shooting the ball well with turnovers, you're not going to get anything. At least in the first quarter, they put up those 16 points because of great shooting. They were 50% from the field and 40% from three. But in that quarter, 2 of 11 from the field with 0 of 8 3-point attempts. That's not going to win you games, especially when you are turning the ball over multiple times like they've done today. They had 15 turnovers just in the first half, and the defense can't really do anything about it. They've done their best to slow down Texas Tech. They only gave up 20 in that second quarter compared to the 24 in the first. And if you're Texas Tech, you're loving the way you're playing right now. You're shooting it efficiently. You're making turnovers anytime you can, and you have 16 rebounds as a team to 9 assists as well. Everything is going the Red Raiders' way, and a big part of that is Snuda Collins, who has been so efficient today. And Bristow and her are combining for 22, 12 for Snuda, and 10 for Bristow. Just a great job all around for Texas Tech, and it's going to be really hard for the Cougars to find any way back into this game.
Yeah, Bristow already up to 6 rebounds. Her career high is 10, so she's only 5 away. She could easily set that in the second half with how many rebounds she had in the second quarter. Snuda Collins, she's at 12 points. That's all she's been doing. No rebounds, no assists. Her career high points is 23. Again, she could easily get that in the second half. She just needs 12 more points, but a lot of things for Washington State to work on here. It looked pretty good early on after the first quarter. We were tied for a little bit. second quarter just really got away from Washington State. So a lot of things they need to clean up here in the second half.
Mainly what I think they need to clean up is the turnovers and if you can shoot. That second quarter, they had 8 open looks from 3, and what happened with all those looks? They were either short or they were long. Either way, they just need to get the ball into the net from deep, and that could help them get back into the game if they start converting those. But you're down 24. At best, that is 8 3-pointers. So it's going to take a lot for them to come back. Not saying anything's out of the water yet, but it's going to need a miracle.
Yeah, so we will step away for halftime and be back for the start of the second half with a lot of things needing to go right for Washington State. It's Texas Tech 40, Washington State 20. This is Washington State women's basketball on KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Welcome back to KUGR Radio. Once again, my name's Nathan Eshelman, joined by Declan Curran here at Beasley Coliseum. We're here for Washington State Cougars women's basketball. They're up against Texas Tech Raiders, and at halftime, the Texas Tech Raiders are winning 44-20 after a massive second quarter advantage for Texas Tech. Everything really seemed to go their way, and the Cougars just seem to be struggling in every asset of the game. Declan, what do you see happening in that quarter?
Yeah, well, speaking of that second quarter, it was 20-4. Texas Tech outscored the Cougs in that quarter, which was a completely different outcome from the first quarter when it looked like the Cougs had a chance. But the big key that we were just talking about while we were off air was 11 steals for Texas Tech, including 3 by Hema Nunez, and every stat, like you said, is in favor of Texas Tech right now. So I think obviously for the Cougs, they gotta try to time up the passes correctly, because 11 steals clearly is for Texas Tech clearly is 11 too many, and that's something that the Cougs obviously are going to want to try to get better on. But to do that, it first starts with timing your passes correctly, not throwing it over somebody's head, or having the ball deflect off of somebody else's hands.
Well, with such a big lead for Texas Tech, what should the Cougars try to do on offense to get something back? Because only 4 points scored in the second quarter. Nothing was falling for them. The three-pointers weren't falling. Do you think they just attack the way they know and keep gunning for the same things they were doing in the first and second quarter? Or should they try to switch up their game plan?
Well, I mean, obviously, whatever they had in the first quarter was working for them. That's what they should try to do in the third quarter, possibly for the fourth quarter too, depending on how well the third quarter goes. But obviously, for some of the shots that WSU took, that they were just completely offline, and some of those shots actually you couldn't tell if they were shots or passes, but they ended up right into the hands of a Texas Tech defender. So obviously, if you're going to take a shot, you want to time it correctly and not completely miss everything.
Well, Texas Tech taking a great advantage of every single fault of the Cougars. They have a 24-point lead, and with 10 minutes now about to start in the third quarter, it appears that Texas Tech will be the one to inbound it. Bailey Maupin for Texas Tech will inbound it. The Texas Tech Raiders are still wearing their black. They're going to be going to the left. Washington State Cougars in their white going to the right. And Hema Nunez will take the inbound as she's guarded tightly at the top of the key, trying to find a spot to go left. Sarange Sanugo gives a pass to the inside to Jalen Bristow, who makes a layup off the glass. 2 points right there for Texas Tech right out of the half. 46-20 is their lead. 9:40 on the clock. Charlotte Abraham had the ball for Washington State, try to get it down the court to Eleanor Villa, but great defense once again forces a turnover. Texas Tech inbounding on the side.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just talking about. That's exactly what I was talking about. What I said the Cougs are not doing. They need to see less of that.
Jalen Bristow inbound it to Hema Nunez. Hema Nunez then gives it to Sarange Sanugo. Sanugo gives it back to Nunez, and Nunez with a tough shot off the glass with her left hand gets it to fall. Another 2 points for Texas Tech. 48-20 is the lead. 9:16 on the clock. Full court press from Texas Tech. Chatfield has the ball. Lots of pressure, though, and another turnover stolen by Bailey Maupin. Gives it up the court, multiple passes, and Hema Nunez has another 2 points.
Yeah, that's at least another 3 steals now, 2 or 3 steals for Texas Tech in this quarter. That's up to 14. Also, I also talked about that. The Cougs need to stop doing that as well.
Cougars trying to move the ball quickly down the court. They finally get it cross half court. and it was an open three-pointer for Charlotte Abraham, and it hits the back iron, and it ends up being a rebound for Texas Tech. They have it down the court, almost gets stolen away by Valancic, but 3 passes to the corner. Hema Nunez with a three-point attempt does not fall. Offensive rebound for Texas Tech, and there is going to be contact on the ground. Malia Rude was going to be called for the foul, her 3rd of the game, and it's going to be a sideline inbound for Texas Tech.
Yeah, you would have to think. Well, Chorus is coming in, but I was gonna say you have to think Rude is checking out, but it's actually gonna be Charlotte Abraham with 2 fouls. But I wouldn't be surprised that if Rude commits another foul, she will be on the bench for quite some time.
Hema Nunez inbounds the ball to Bailey Maupin. Maupin pails the 3, and she nails it in Mackenzie Chatfield's face. And that's another 3 points for Texas Tech. 53-20 is the lead. 8:14 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. It's inbounded to Kendra Koritz, heavily pressured by Hema Nunez. Koritz needs to get the ball past the midcourt line. She just does before the violation, and she now hands it off to Eleanor Villa, guarded by Nunez. Villa drives into the paint, goes up with her right hand, and it goes off the glass. Cougars get their first points of the quarter, 53-22, 7 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. Nunez taking it up the court, passes it quickly to Jalen Bristow, pours the 3 from the right wing, does not get the fall. Good rebound by Kendra Koritz, passes it up the court to Eleonora Villa gives a pass to Rude just inside the three-point line. She hits the deep mid-range shot. 53-24 is the lead for Texas Tech now. 7 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Quick pass down the court. Bailey Maupin fakes the 3, goes straight to Rude, pulls up from the mid-range jumper, gets it to fall. 55-24 is the lead.
Yeah, those points there for Malia Rude, those were huge. Those were her first points since the first quarter. She was at 5 at halftime. She's now up to 7.
Mackenzie Chatfield was the inbounder for the Cougars, tries to do a half-court pass, gets easily intercepted by Texas Tech, and a pass down the court leads to a foul on the ground. That appears to be on Chatfield herself, and Valancic is going to come out of the game for Mara Alcina.
Yeah, that is going to be on Chatfield. Her second team foul as well for second. That's the second team foul as well for Washington State.
Hema Nunez inbounds the ball to Sinago, and Sinago finds an open three-pointer on the left side of Maupin. Maupin misses the 3. Tough rebound was fought for. Fritz tried to get it, but Koritz does a great job poking it away. Cougars do have possession. 6:51 on the clock. 55-24 is the score. Eleanor Villa gives it to Rude behind the three-point line this time. She drills it.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, she's heating up in this 3rd quarter. You don't want her to get hot. She hasn't been draining those deep 3s lately, but she's the last person you want to that you want to see get hot, because she can get hot at any moment and all of a sudden she could be up to 20 points at one point.
The Red Raiders had a long possession, multiple passes and deflections, but it gets deflected to a Maupin. Maupin makes the three-pointer, and on the inbound, she gets an interception. Maupin just creating any points that possible for Texas Tech. And now Nunez has it, hands it off to Sanugo. Sanugo gets it now to Fritz. Fritz drives inside, but there's contact on the floor.
Yeah.
Foul against Texas Tech.
Yeah, I was going to say that looked like that was an offensive foul, because the ref was pointing the other way, and they're going to make two substitutions now. Collins and Malone will check in, as well as looks like coming out is going to be Bristow, Nunez, and Sinogo. So if you're Washington State, you have two of the best players come out, but you have clearly the best one today back in Collins. So you're definitely going to have to be a little bit more. You're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive on defense when it comes to guarding Snuda Collins.
Marta Alzina inbounds the ball. The Cougars pushing it down the court. 14 on the shot clock. Rude with a great pass to the left corner to Koritz. Koritz's three-pointer is offline. A pass almost intercepted by Mackenzie Chatfield. Great hustle there. Goes out of bounds. Deflected off of Chatfield. Ball still goes to Texas Tech. 58-27 is the score. Texas Tech leading. 5 minutes and 41 seconds left to go until the end of the third quarter. It's going to be Snuda Collins to inbound the ball. It appears to be number 10, Sydney Love, has it at the top of the key. A little give and go between her and Fritz. Love takes it now inside, takes it back out on the right wing, trying to figure out a spot to go with it. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Great defensive pressure by the Cougars all around. No one getting open. Gets handed off to Snuda Collins, but another offensive foul against Texas Tech.
No, that's not an offensive foul. That was a 5-second violation. They held the ball for too long. Didn't get it. Texas Tech didn't get it across the line to somebody. Turnover to the Cougs. But speaking of offensive foul, that offensive foul on Texas Tech, that was on Bristow, so that's going to be her second. 14th foul. One more puts Washington State in the bonus.
Well, the Cougars now have it on the other side of the court. Halcina gives it to Rude. Rude inside the paint now. Gets it to Villa. Villa working around in the post. Tough layup. And there's a lot of contact. It's going to be a foul on Sydney Love with free throws now upcoming for Eleanor Villa. 5 minutes and 1 second on the clock until the end of the third quarter. Cougars down big right now, 31-point differential, but Villa looking to change it any way that she can. Her first free throw coming up.
Yeah, they're going to call that on. That's the second on the left. 5 team fouls now for Washington State. Washington State in the bonus the rest of these 5 minutes here in the third quarter.
Eleanor Villa makes the first one. Her second one upcoming now. She makes both. Cougars are perfect from the line from when they get there, but now it is 58-29, just under 5 left to go. Sydney Love has it at the top of the court, top of the key now for the Texas Tech Raiders. Hands it off to Snuda Collins. Snuda Collins driving left, gets some contact from Mackenzie Chatfield, but it's going to be a foul on the floor.
That's on Chatfield. That's her third already. Third on the Cougs, but so obviously we're hitting the timeout here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chatfield sits for an extended period of time.
Well, with that foul, it is going to be immediate timeout. Just under 5 minutes left to go. Texas Tech has a massive lead right now, 58-29 against Washington State Cougars. Don't go anywhere, though. You're listening to KUGR Sports, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to KUGR Sports. Once again, my name is Nathan Eshelman, joined by Declan Curran here at Beasley Coliseum. And we are commentating what ended up being a blowout, but in that first quarter, it really looked like a competitive game, 24-16, and then just an explosion in favor of Texas Tech. They are now inbounding the ball. Sydney Love tries to get it in quickly, but it's deflected off of Snuda Collins. Great defense there by the Cougars, and they will be inbounding Eleanor Avila. Still a full court pressure there by Texas Tech. They are not letting up off of the gas, and Mackenzie Chatfield pushing it down the court. Gets it to Villa, driving now with her left hand, takes it back out to the Pac-12 logo. Spin move, gets around, puts up a floater through three people, and she gets it to fall.
Yeah, that was a great awareness there. Miscommunication by the Texas Tech defense. That was a pretty easy basket. Wazoo would definitely like to see more of that, as well as stopping Snuda Collins on that last possession.
Well, now Snuda Collins has it from the WCC logo just in front of the free throw line. She gets her jumper to fall.
Commentator jinx right there.
A little bit. She heard you and she called you out for that one. But 60-31 is now the score. Still a lot of pressure
Great
by
defense
Texas Tech. Almost forces a turnover, but Villa gets wide open under the basket, and she misses the wide open layup. Just a perfect representation of what the Cougars basketball game has been like today.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Washington State. She was wide open, and that was an unfortunate miss, which is something that Washington State cannot afford much of right now.
Well, now Denai Fritz has it, hands it off to Sydney Love on the right wing. Love gets it to the right corner to Maupin. Maupin gets it to Collins, right back to Maupin. Give and go between her and Collins. Collins has it again, pulls up a three from the right wing, gets it to fall. Just everything going Texas Tech's way now. They're now shooting it very efficiently in this quarter.
Yeah, especially for Snuda Collins. She's at 17 now.
Malia Rude tries to get a pass in. It's stolen in a score. Once again, Denai Fritz doing a great job getting in the lane, forces a turnover and gets a wide open layup for her. Triple coverage on Malia Rude past the half-court line. She finds an open woman, though, gets it to Marta Alcina, and she gets a bucket. Cougars now have 33, Texas Tech 65.
Yeah, that last bucket, that put well, she's up to 4 now, but Snuda Collins, she's only 7 points away from her career high. With still the fourth quarter to go, that's very well in reach here.
Well, Collins being guarded tightly by Alcina. Alcina pokes it away, gets a steal for a second, but Sydney Love there to recover and grabs the ball in favor for Texas Tech. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Maupin pulls a deep three, and she nails it.
Yeah, she could have hit that one from Bailey Brayton Field. That was definitely facing that direction. That was a very deep three, and all of a sudden this one is starting to turn into it's starting to become too little too late for Washington State, even with the fourth quarter still to go.
Well, Malia Rude tries to match the three-pointer, takes one, but a good offensive rebound by the Cougars. Keandra Koritz got down there along with Mackenzie Chatfield, and a foul on the floor is going to lead to a Cougar inbound with only 2 minutes and 16 seconds left until the end of the third. Texas Tech leading 68-33. Jean Chu is back in the game for the Cougars, and she inbounds it to Malia Rude. Malia Rude with the mid-range shot. It does not fall, and a great hustle rebound by Bailey Maupin. Bailey Maupin takes it herself with a fast break opportunity, pulls up from just inside the paint, and she makes the small jumper. 70-33 is the score, and the Cougars trying to take it quickly down the court. Marta Alzina working against Adley Blacklock, hands it off to Jean Chu. Now back at the Cougar crest. Jean Chu guarded tightly by Sydney Love. Gives it off to Eleanor Avila. Gives it right back, give and go. Rude with the screen to the left. Chu trying to figure out how to get it to Rude. Rude has it inside the paint. Great defense from Sydney Love. Forces a miss and another rebound for Texas Tech. Love taking up the court now has it on the left wing. Gets it onto the inside of Jada Malone. Jada Malone with a mid-range shot. She does not get the fall. Keandra Koritz with a great rebound. Now hands it off to Jean Chu, taking it up the court. Screen from Marta Alcina. Now she's going to pass it left to Eleanor Villa. Villa gets inside the paint, cuts through the defense, gets a bucket. 70-35 is the score. 1 minute and 13 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Jean Chu actually on that last stoppage, checked in for Chatfield. That was actually a foul called on Texas Tech. That went on Fritz, so that's her first of the quarter for Texas Tech.
Sydney Love has it for Texas Tech, swings it to Maupin. Maupin gets it inside the paint to Malone. Malone driving inside, almost gets it to fall against Malia Rude. Rude staying inside the paint. Great defense there. Cougars get the rebound, and Chu gets it up the court. Rebound now swings it to the corner to open Marta Alcina, who swings it to the left now. Malia Rude makes another three-pointer. 70-38 is the score. 34 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Rude's starting to heat up now. She was at 5. Now she's at 13. She's now tied. She's now tied for the team lead in scoring, tied with Eleanor Avila, both at 13 apiece. Rude is starting to heat up, which is not something which is the last thing that you want to happen if you're Texas Tech.
Jada Malone has it. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 14 on the game clock. Malone, spin move in the post off of Rude. Does not go. Another rebound for the Cougars. 7 seconds on the clock. Finds a wide open woman. It's going to be Keandra Koritz inside the paint. Makes the layup. And with 0 seconds now and a Hail Mary that does not fall, Texas Tech is still leading in this game. It's 70-40. And with only 10 minutes left to go, a desperate miracle is needed for Washington State if they want to come back in this game.
Yeah, definitely. But Texas Tech still won that. Texas Tech still scored more points in that quarter, but they only won that one by 6. So much better quarter for Washington State. They actually finished that quarter on a 7-0 run over the last 119. So obviously, and Texas Tech's in a little bit of a drought there. It's been over 2 minutes. They've been stuck on 70 for the last 206 now. So obviously, Washington State playing a little bit better, but they're going to have to play just a little bit much better. Down by 30 going into the fourth quarter.
Well, with a 30-point deficit and only 10 minutes to go, you have to play pretty much nearly perfect, and that's going to be very hard to do for this Cougar squad against the Red Raiders. But anything can happen, so don't go anywhere. You're listening to KUGR Sports, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to KUGR Radio. It's now about to be the start of the fourth quarter between the Washington State Cougars and the Texas Tech Raiders. Raiders with a 30-point advantage, 70-40. It's going to take quite a miracle for the Cougars to come back in this one, but anything can happen. Maybe 10 straight three-pointers to 10 straight turnovers. Cougars tie the game. Let's see what can happen. It will be the start of possession. The Cougars will get it. It's going to be Marta Alzina to inbound the ball. Gets it into Malvina Haziri. Haziri hands it off to Chu at the midcourt logo. And she's being guarded tightly by Hema Nunez. Great at getting steals, but Malia Rude was a little bit of a side bump. Gets a pass off to Alcina. Alcina now quick passes all around. Malia Rude had it in the paint. Tried to get it back out to Bailey Maupin there with a steal, though. Gets it quickly up the court. Hema Nunez unable to finish open layup, and the Cougars get the rebound. Malvina Haziri gets it up to Chu. Chu now has it on the left wing. Screen to the right from Malia Rude. Chu now being tightly guarded. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it Alcina. Alcina now goes to the right. Gets a wide open Keandra Koritz for three. And in and out. Almost goes in. Malia Rude with a great job going for the rebound. Forces a jump ball. It will be possession to Texas Tech.
That 3-pointer there by Koritz. That was that definitely. I mean, I mean, for the three, the shot that Courts took, that was definitely a great shot. It almost went in. That's the best possible miss on a 3-pointer or any any shot for that matter that you could have if you're Washington State.
Emma Nunez has it now for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Now takes it back at the top of the key, swings it to the right to Sanugo. Sanugo trying to figure out where to go with it, is going to hand it off to Maupin. Maupin drives it inside, kicks it back out. Addie Blacklock with a fadeaway three-pointer, unable to get it to fall. And fighting for the rebound is Snuda Collins, but she's not going to get the call. It's going to be, it is going to be Washington State basketball.
And
Keandra Courts with a great job going for the rebound.
Yeah, and we should clarify that's Mariam Sanogo now back in or in for Texas Tech. That's Sarah Sanogo's sister. They're not twins, but they are both seniors. Sarah 6'3", Mariam 6'2". They're both from Paris.
Miriam is the big sister. She's now in the game. Chu has it up the court for the Cougars. She gets a screen to the right now, trying to find anywhere to go with it. She was going to swing it across the court. It's tipped and intercepted once again. Just another turnover, the 22nd of the game. The Red Raiders take it up the court. Nunez passes it to Maupin in the corner. Nunez on the right wing gets it back. Snuda Collins now has it at the free throw line, takes a step back jumper, and she gets it to fall. Perfect on the game, 7 for 7 with 19 points. Cougars get a quick inbound. Haziri tries to get up the court. Chu is going to slow it down, though. Has it on the right side for the Cougars. Deep possession, gets a screen from Rude, takes it inside the paint, tries to get it to Courts. Courts is not able to get it cleanly, but a pass out quickly to Malia Rude, and she gets it to fall.
Man, I tell you what, Nathan, she is locked in right now. She's in on a different level. Every shot she's taking is going down. She is not missing right now.
Well, she is 6 of 10 right now, 4 of 6 from 3. The Raiders have it now in Cougar side. Collins has it on the left corner, gets it to Maupin on the left wing, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Haziri guarding her tightly. Maupin's layup does not fall. Great defense there by Haziri. Rude with the rebound. Gets it up the court quickly to Alcina. Alcina takes it herself inside the paint. Gets it to fall. 72-45 is the score. 7 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. And a quick timeout being taken. The first one of the game from Krista Gerlich and the Texas Tech Raiders.
Yeah, kind of shocking that it comes now. But looking back in the first quarter, you would have thought they would have taken a timeout then, because that's when Texas Tech was really struggling. But obviously they've cleaned it up now. But Washington State's on a little bit of a run here, and it's starting to become too much for Krista Gerlich. But as far as Texas Tech, Snuda Collins at 19. She now passes Maupin for the lead, and she's only 5 away from her career. She could easily get that here with 7:14 left.
Well, that timeout was taken a little interestingly. The Cougars do have the advantage this quarter. It's 5-2. So if it's a game of quarters, this has been their best so far. Let's see what can happen, though. We're going to take a break, though, with this media timeout. You're listening to KUJR Sports, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to KUGR. It is a festive mood right now in Beasley Coliseum. The Cougars may be down by a large amount. 27 is the differential. 7:14 on the clock, but it's gonna take a lot more Malia Rude three-pointers and feed the hot hand. Might as well. But Texas Tech has it. Maupin inbounds it quickly to Nunez. Nunez has it on the right wing. Feeds it into Mariam Sanugu. Sanugu kicks it back out. Almost gets stolen away, but it's back to Nunez. Nunez swings it quickly to Blacklock. Lots of quick passing going around. Bristow has it. She gets it inside this to Blacklock. Blacklock unable to get it to fall. Great rebound by Keandra Koritz. Good job boxing out her offensive rebounder, but Jean Chu has it for the Cougars. Has it at midcourt. Gets it to Koritz on the right wing. Trying to post up Bristow, and it's going to be a foul on Bristow.
Yeah, that's number 3 on her. So now actually, she's the first one with 3 fouls, so she's the one in deep foul trouble, and I wouldn't be surprised if she takes a seat here shortly, which is something that obviously it will be a big advantage for Washington State, although with this big deficit, they need a lot more than just that.
Well, a quick inbound with a quick trigger from Keandra Koritz, but the three-pointer was short, missed, and rebounded, leading to a wide-open three-pointer on the other side of the court for Adley Blacklock, and she drains it. 75-45 is the score. 6 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock until the end of the game. Marta Alcina has it now for the Cougars, gets a quick pass to the right side for Malia Rude. Malia Rude hands it off to Haziri. Haziri feeds it into the paint to Keandra Koritz with a spin around, fadeaway post shot, gets it to fall, gets a generous bounce from the rim, but 2 points for her and the Cougars. 75-47 is the score. Just under 6 minutes now on the clock. Blacklock has it on the other side of the court, gets it to Nunez. Nunez feeds it to Maupin. Maupin now gets it back. Nunez has it back at the top of the key, swings it to Blacklock, right corner or right wing three, goes down once again. Texas Tech has 78 to the Cougars 47. A little bit of an error at the top of the game clock here, but there is 5 minutes, 53 seconds on the clock. Jean Chu has it, gives it quickly to Haziri. Haziri pulls the three, unable to get it. Good rebound from Marion Sanugu. Sanugu gets it off to Nunez. Nunez trying to find somewhere to go with it. Gets a screen to the right from Mariam Sanugu and gets it to Jalen Bristow. Gets deflected out of bounds by Malia Rude. And with 5 minutes, 13 seconds on the clock, Texas Tech has a 31-point lead. 2 substitutions coming in for the Cougars. Charlotte Abraham, along with Lauren Glazier, coming in for Malia Rude and Keandra Koritz. Inbounded to Maupin. Maupin has it. Guarded by Chu, swings it across the court to Blacklock. Blacklock making a name for herself this fourth quarter. It gets hit back out to Nunez. Nunez gets it back to Blacklock, and she drains another one.
Yeah, speaking of hot hand, she's got the hot hand right now. She gets herself in double digits. She's still two of 3 from the 3-point line, but she's the hot hand right now. And like you said about Malia Rude, keep feeding the hot hand for Texas Tech right now. That is Adley Blacklock.
Well, the ball was pushed down the court, and Marta Alcina tried to get it to the right side, but it was deflected out of bounds. And with under 5 minutes left to go, this is the final media timeout of the game. Texas Tech is leading the Washington State Cougars 81-47. Don't go anywhere, though. We're coming up to the wrap-up and conclusion of this game. You're listening to KUGR Sports, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to KUHR Sports. Cougars looking to end this game on a high note. It's a little too big of a score to come back from with only 4 minutes, 40 seconds left. But Cougars will give it their best to end the game. 81-47 is the current score. Cougars have it now. Marta Alcina has it at the top of the key, swings it to the left corner for Alcina. Alcina almost wedges it at the backboard, but a foul on the floor is going to be called against Jalen Bristow from a offensive rebound from the Cougars, and it's going to be an inbound upcoming for the Cougars.
Yeah, and that's number 4 on Bristow. So obviously they're not taking her out right now, but they're obviously they're taking the risk with Bristow playing with 4 fouls.
Melvina Aziri gets it into Charlotte Abraham. Charlotte Abraham posting it up at the top of the key now, just in front of the free throw line. Melvina Aziri has it now, swings it to Alcina. Alcina driving, kicks it to Jean Chu in the left corner. High three-pointer is off, but a great rebound fought for by Charlotte Abraham. She now has it on the right wing. Gets it to Chu at the top of the key. Gets it inside the paint to Lauren Glazer. Glazer tries to get a post hook to fall. Does not get it. Great rebound by Mariam Sanugo. And Sanugo gets it up the court to Cindy Love. Love tries to feed it inside the paint to Jalen Bristow. But a mismatch leads to a quick foul from Melvina Haziri. And it's going to be a side court inbound for Texas Tech. 4 minutes, 2 seconds on the clock. Still a lead, 81-47.
Yeah, I guess, well, that's the first on Aziri, but I guess the one positive for the Cougs is in the third quarter, they didn't commit any fouls, so that was obviously their cleanest quarter of this game so far.
A quick inbound leads to a shot from Mariam Sanugo, and Sanugo gets her own rebound after it hits the back iron. Almost stolen away, though, from a pass back to Maupin. Maupin does collect it, though, on the right wing. Gets it inside to Bristow. Bristow tries to put it up. It gets deflected by a Cougar, but last touched by Mariam Sanuga, and it's going to be an inbound for the Cougars. Jean Chu quickly inbounds it to Charlotte Abraham. Abraham taking it up the court now against Bristow. Going to swing it back to Jean Chu. Still haven't crossed the midcourt line. She gets it now. Tough screen almost got there by Glazer, but it's going to be passed to Charlotte Abraham, and Abraham tries to drive in, but a foul on the floor against Texas Tech is going to lead to a side out and multiple substitutions coming in. Keandra Koritz for the Cougars coming into the game for Glazer, and 2 substitutions for Texas Tech, Julie Nicolna along with Adley Blacklock.
Yeah, Yulia Nicola and Malone. Yeah, this is Nicolna's first time checking in. She's a 6'3" junior out of the Czech Republic, came over from Shelton State Community College.
Charlotte Abraham tried to get a three-pointer quickly out of the break, but it's going to be missed and rebounded by Bailey Maupin. Maupin has it at the top of the key. She's going to drive to the right, going on court. Almost gets it to fall. A lot of contact, no foul. Marta Alcina gets the rebound. 3 minutes on the clock now. Quickly up to Jean Chu. Jean Chu takes it back from the right wings, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Calls off courts. Jean Chu with a mismatch against Jada Malone. Feeds it to courts on the right wing, but a missed three once again by the Cougars leads to a rebound for Texas Tech.
Well,
and Bailey Maupin has it on the left wing now, gets it to Jada Malone at the top of the key. Malone feeds it to the right to Blacklock. Blacklock has it at the right wing, screen to the right from Malone. Takes it up herself. Malone almost gets the and one, but it falls just out of the rim, and Charlotte Abraham is going to get another foul called on her. It appears to be 2 free throws upcoming for Blacklock and Texas Tech.
Yeah, speaking of fouls, that's number 3 on Abraham. That's her team foul number 2. And also, Jalen Bristow for Texas Tech, that last foul was number 5. So she fouled out. She finished with 12 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. So she was 3 rebounds shy of a double-double, but overall a pretty great night for Jalen Bristow.
Well, Blacklock does not get her first free throw to fall. Her second one is up, and she does not get that one to fall either. 2 missed free throws. Score still 81-47. 2 minutes, 31 seconds on the clock. Jean Chu has it. Screen from Abraham. Does not take it herself, though. Swings it across a little bit too high. Had an open opportunity, but Haziri unable to pull the shot. A pass inside the paint now to Keandra Koritz, and she is fouled by 3 different players. Let's see who the refs call this one on. It is going to be possession to the Cougars, but the foul is on Texas Tech. It is going to be the first foul against Sanuga. It's Mariam Sanuga this time. Melvina Haziri gets the inbound, and it's going to be passed to Charlotte Abraham at the left wing. Gets it inside to Courts. Courts swings it all the way across the court to Jean Chu. Jean Chu takes it herself inside the paint, off the glass, gets it to fall, and the Cougars get their first points in the past 4 minutes, leading to a timeout by Texas Tech and Krista Gerlich.
Yeah, those were much needed points there for Washington State. Need any kind of momentum going. That actually got Chu on the board. That was her first points of the game now. We have 3 players that still haven't scored yet in this game, and unless they can get in the 340, they won't. The last 3 minutes 40 seconds, they won't. They'll still be held off the scoreboard. But that's Chatfield, Abraham, and Malvina Haziri, who I mean, it's been tough for Haziri. She's attempted 4 3-pointers, and at least 2 of them, maybe 3 of them, could have easily gone in. Like I was saying earlier, on Haziri's 3-pointers, she got good looks. Just those shots have just not fallen for her today. And Malvina Haziri has just been very unlucky with her shots today.
Well, there is still a little bit of an issue on the scoreboard. There's 2 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock. 81-49 is the score. And correction, that was a Texas Tech timeout there. Texas Tech will inbound it. Cougars not pressuring. All 5 Texas Tech Raiders in the backfield, looking like a football player right now.
Yep, and now the scoreboard has gone out. We've seen this far too many times. We saw this again on Wednesday. It was down the scoreboard was down for like at least 3 minutes back on Wednesday.
Well, the inbound was going quickly down the court, and a little bit of miscommunication leads to a foul by Washington State. So much movement by Texas Tech led to some miscommunication by the Cougars defense. It is going to be a side out inbound coming for Texas Tech. Sydney Love to inbound it.
Yeah, that foul was on Courts. That's her third team foul. So both teams now, well, Texas Tech at 4 now, but that's 3 team fouls on Washington State.
Gets it to Sanugo, and Sanugo tries to get rid of it, but Jean Chu does a great job ripping it away. Screen from Abraham. Jean Chu gives it right to Abraham. Almost pulls the 3, fakes it. Swings it to Alcina. Alcina now swings it to the right corner to Keandra Courts. Courts, an inbound or a quick bounce pass to Chu, and Chu with a big size disadvantage. Doesn't matter. It gets it to fall off the glass. 81-51 is now the score. 1:20 on the clock. Maupin had it on Cougar territory, but she's going to step out of bounds. Quick turnover there. Yeah, and a little bit of momentum to end the game here for the Cougars.
Yeah, definitely. That was a little bit of a late call there. I saw Maupin stepped out of bounds. I was wondering if the ref was going to call it.
And that's immediately turned over once again. Forced turnover there by Mariam Sanuga. She just pressured Keandra Courts a little bit too much, deflected out of bounds off of Courts, and just what was a turnover on Texas Tech is now a turnover against the Cougars. 1:17 on the clock. 81-51 is still the score. And a pass inside to Maupin is going to be called for a foul as Marta Alcina just went over the back of her, trying to force another turnover. And it's going to still be a side out inbound for Texas Tech. 26 seconds on the shot clock. Sydney Love will be the one to inbound it.
Yeah, that's foul number 1 on Alcina. Both teams now at 4 fouls. So next foul by either team puts somebody in the bonus.
Maupin took the inbound, took it herself into the paint, does not get it to fall, but it's going to go out of bounds. Mariam Sanuga was the last one to touch it. Inbound now upcoming for the Cougars. Jean Chu gets it in quickly to Marta Alcina. Alcina taking it herself against Bailey Maupin. Gets past the Cougar crest at the half-court line. Charlotte Abraham with the screen to her right. Gets it to Chu at the top of the key now. Chu swings it quickly to the left corner to Courts. Courts pulls the 3-pointer, misses everything, but it does deflect off of a Texas Tech player, Addie Blacklock. Last one to touch it. It's going to be another inbound to the Cougars. 15 seconds on the clock, or on the shot clock, I should say. 52 seconds on the game clock. Still down 30. Jean Chu has it for the Cougars. Is going to inbound it to Malvina Haziri. Haziri has it on the right corner. Screen left from Courts. Haziri swings it now to the left wing to Chu. Chu taking it herself against Sydney Love. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it to Haziri in the right corner. Haziri step back 3-pointer. Short, and it's going to be a rebound to Texas Tech. 29 seconds on the shot clock. Only 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Bailey Maupin going to just take down the time. 20 seconds on the shot clock. calling off any offensive players from any plays at the moment.
Yeah, she's probably just going to take the shot clock violation. Maybe
Well, Maupin is going to actually take it inside the paint after giving a give and go between Mariam Sanugo, and it's going to be contact inside the paint.
Yeah.
Let's see if this is going to be called on the shot. Either way, it's going to be free throws for Texas Tech, but a foul there on number 12, Marta Alcina.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to get called for the foul. So that's number 2 on her. That is number 5, like you said. So that puts Texas Tech in the bonus.
Well, Bailey Maupin puts up the free throw, gets it to fall. 82-51 is the score. Only 12 minutes and 7 seconds left to go until the end of the game. Maupin, what could be the final points for Texas Tech. Her free throw is up. It is actually out of the rim, and Koritz gets the rebound. Texas Tech, even though there's only 10 seconds left, they're still doing a full court press. Alvina Haziri has it now. 7 seconds on the clock. Screen right from Abraham. Jean Chu has it. 3 seconds on the clock. Takes it herself, but it's going to be a turnover, and Julie Nikolna is going to just add to her stats, getting a steal just at the end of the game. But as the clock hits 0, Texas Tech is going to walk away with the massive victory. It is 82-51, getting the win over the Washington State Cougars. And that is now the 10th double-digit victory for Texas Tech on their season as they move to 11-0. Just an astounding season there for the Red Raiders. And for the Washington State women's team, they are going to move to 1-10 on the year. Another disappointing loss for the Cougars. But this was a tough game all around. Texas Tech, a great team. It was going to be very hard to stay in it, and they showed why all game long, especially in that second quarter.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in that second quarter. After the first quarter, like we were saying, we thought Washington State would have a chance. We were actually tied here at the end of the first quarter, and we were like, oh my gosh, we might have an upset brewing on our hands today. But second quarter was all Texas Tech. It just completely got away from Washington State, and especially for Haziri, she had a difficult day. She had good looks on her shots. None of them were able to fall, and it's another tough loss for Washington State. 1-10, and doesn't get any easier. They gotta go back out east for their final 2 games before conference play. They go to Seton Hall on Tuesday at 4:00. And then University of Pennsylvania next Friday. It's a little bit of an early wake-up call, especially for us here on the West Coast. It's an 8 a.m. Pacific time start from Philadelphia. And then they'll be back here to start conference play on December 28th when they play Pepperdine at 12 o'clock. So obviously it doesn't get any easier for Washington State.
Well, the Cougars fans, they're hoping for Christmas, a couple Cougar wins. And as we're getting into the winter break for Washington State University, this has been Nathan Eshelman, joined by Declan Curran of KUGR Sports. You've been listening to us. Have a good night.